So today we are crafting an adorable little mole with a tiny flower hat and no clothes. It is playful and charming version that I think you'll love. To keep the whole video short and sweet, we'll focus on this part only today, but if you're interested in adding more details, just let me know in the comments. And I thank you for being here. So let's make something beautiful together. So today I'll be using wool cotton, of course, basic wool cotton from a drugstore, nothing special, aluminum foil, glue gun, a few brushes, scissors, a little bit of wire, some thread, watercolors, one cotton pad. I have here acrylic paints, pliers, masking tape, cornstarch glue, a little bit of coffee, and I always have wood glue. Let's start. Prepare your foil and start shaping it so that the base of the figure resembles, let's say, a penguin. It is a very simple form. On the head, you will then add a small extension that will be the nose and make the body a little plump. At the bottom of the body, on the opposite side from the nose, add a little tail that will be at the bottom of the figure, and it will also be a support to make the figure more stable. I will show you two versions of the bases for the mole, one completely made of foil and the other one made of foil and wire. Along with the tail, we are working on the legs too, and arms, of course. If the foil gets loose on the surface, just tape it down with masking tape. As you can see, I'm kind of comparing my base with this little sketch that I did because I want all these little figures to be roughly the same size. Now, for the second version, we will use a little bit of wire. So sculpt the head, body and tail just like in the first version. You can find or sketch some kind of silhouette of a mole, so it can help, but it's not necessary at all. You can just go with your own feeling or your own vision. Now cut two slightly longer pieces of wire for the legs and twist one end of each to make little foot shapes. Here I'm using some wire I pulled out of an old notebook. It's pretty sturdy and not the easiest to work with, but it's okay. You can definitely go with a thinner wire. Just make sure it's not too thin or too soft. The shape of the leg wires should be kind of a letter, like letter S. Stick the wire ends into the body and secure them with the hot glue or masking tape. Do the same thing for the arms and then carefully wrap everything in foil to hold it all together. I'm not a big fan of silicone glue, and I almost never use it for the sculptures I sell, but for construction like this, it can be helpful because it saves time. The arms are not much trouble, they can be completely straight. Leave them a bit longer so you can easily trim them and straighten them later. The length will be significantly reduced once we add the wool cotton, and it is better if they are a bit longer. Now, the difference between these two figures will not be huge, but if you got some skill, you can do way more detailed work with wire. I have kept the shapes here super simple and tailored them for someone who's just getting started with this technique. Working on these bases might not be very fun, but if we put in a little effort, the later stages will be more enjoyable and easier to handle. The most important thing is to pay attention to the stability of the figure and not to overdo it with the bulk. Everything else can be refined later. We can now move on to building the character with wool cotton. This time I'm using only cornstarch glue. I made it a bit more watery this time because I want all the cotton fibers to absorb the moisture along with the starch, which will later firm up and stiffen everything much better. Because often happens that if the cornstarch is too thick and we add multiple layers of cotton, some parts will remain too soft, and I'm not really a big fan of that effect. But if you don't mind soft spots, you can definitely go with a thicker glue, and that's okay, of course. And I just wanted to mention that last year we had a little visit from Mrs. Mole in the garden, who left signs and messages showing that she's been working diligently. Some of us were very irritated and worried, but I was really happy because I ended up with wonderfully fine, crumbly soil for my flowers. Now, when I make these videos, I usually choose a specific type of materials to avoid creating too much confusion with all possibilities. So for those of you who already have some knowledge of the spun cotton technique, feel free to use the materials and methods you prefer, of course, because in creative expression, there are not strict rules. So personally, I love to experiment with all sorts of things, and often I use whatever I found within reach. But when we talk about specific technique, it is helpful to follow a certain direction so the information is clear. And since I've started making this content in English, I need to stay really focused on the topic, otherwise I'm afraid no one would understand me. Maybe over time it will all become easier and more spontaneous, I hope. Wish me luck. Now, when it comes to drying, cotton coated with cornstarch glue will dry a bit faster than the one coated with the PVA glue. But in any case, if you let them air dry, it would definitely take around 24 hours for them to be completely dry. You can speed up that process by heating your oven to the max, turning it off, and then placing the figures inside for a few hours. Or you might find your own method. You can also use a dehydrator if you have one. So here I'm just fixing the surface of the figure a bit, because after it dried, some rough spots were left, and that is why I always have at least 2 stages of applying the cotton. These additional layers will dry much faster since they are thinner and fewer. Now I'm trying to see what kind of look watercolor will give, but once everything dried, I wasn't really happy with how it looked. Molds are black, and I didn't want to mix different shades of brown, even though I know that would probably look nice. Maybe I could have tried adding some blue to the black, but I eventually decided to go with black acrylic instead. The acrylic color gives slight sheen and also helps to seal the foamy surface of the cotton. Here we see a bit of improvisation. I've got the idea to make a little flower that will be like a hat for my 3 moles. I'm using a cotton pad which I split in half so it wouldn't be too thick. I coated the pieces with glue, added some wire, secured the top part of the flower with thread, and then covered it with cotton and glue. You can paint the flower while it's wet using watercolors, and that will give you some lovely flowy effect. Now I'm going back to the figures and I'm working on noses, paws and tails. First, I work with the white acrylic paint and then with a touch of a pink for the paws and noses and tails. I'm using a black gel markers to add fine lines on the paws, you'll see a bit later. I will glue the flower hat on using a wood glue because it's strong, works perfectly with these materials, and it dries clear, so even if a bit runs, it won't leave visible marks. And that is something that really bothers me about the hot glue. It always shows if I put a bigger amount, and sometimes I have to do that. When it comes to the eyes, there is nothing too tricky here. Just make sure your hand is steady. You basically drawing 2 dots. Depending on where you position the black one, the mole will be looking up or down, left or right. At the very end, you'll see I'm using a bit of patina, using coffee this time. Last time I used cocoa powder with water, and that turned out to be a successful experiment. Now I'm using coffee to soften the strong tones a bit. It's not as intensely brown as cocoa, so it is perfectly safe to work with. I hope you enjoyed this little spun cotton adventure and that it inspired you to try something new. In the next video I will show you how these little molds inspired me to create something else. You'll see. Don't forget to like and follow this channel for more small and big creative adventures. I will leave you here for now, and I'll see you very soon.